Hey everybody, welcome to my daily chat on Facebook. And Bobby, I'm here, of course, because you're my friends and I love you guys. And I'm excited to. I changed the time of my Facebook Live. I normally used to do it at 9 a.m., but now some feedback was like, guys, we're in transit, we're not around. So now I'm doing this. I'm gonna try to do this every day around 12 noon. That's kind of like, if it doesn't work out, I'll probably do it maybe after lunch, like 1:30. But 12 noon is the targeting time. I'm gonna do one every day. I'm talking about topics like parenting and the power of connection, networking, relationships, personal branding, you name it. And I'm here because I want to engage you guys. So if you're here, thanks for the like. If you're liking this, like, comment, share, post below. I want to hear what you have to say. Comment below, like it, share it. Let's get people part of the conversation today. And one of the things that I learned is I'm trying to be maybe on here longer to build a bigger audience, because it takes a while for people to see that I'm actually on here. So what am I going to talk about? Well, the topic I want to talk about is what blocks our deep connection. So, we all have surface acquaintances. We also have people we're well connected to. We also have people that have very, very deep connections. So what's the difference? And, so how would you find, let's first off define what deep connection is. Deep connection really is those people where you're so able to share vulnerability. You're so able to share your deep, dark secrets. You're so able to be who you are. You're so able to just even sit in silence. There's a deep connection of the head, heart, and soul where it's just amazing. Now, most of us have that with our families, our significant others, our children, and sometimes with some of our really, really close friends. And so that deep connection is really, really important. So, and I want to talk about this, but again, if you have questions on anything to do with this or anything else, like comment below, let me know, and I will answer them. First off, hey, new glasses. What do you think? They're big because I have progressive now here, so I can actually read things down here. Like, hey, so that's my new thing. Hope you enjoy them. But let's talk about what blocks deep connection. And again, connection is so important. It's very, very a powerful thing. The first thing that I find that blocks your deep connection with people, and again, whether it's your parents, your friends, your significant other, your partner, if your marriage is disconnecting, the thing that stops you, the number one thing that stops you, is your own pain. Everyone has pain. So the perfect example of that, if I was in a relationship and we broke up and it was like a major disaster, then the next time I want to say be with somebody, I'm less likely. The pain is stopping me from wanting to invest in another relationship because I've been hurt and I haven't processed that pain, or it's still hurting me, so it's difficult for me. If you had difficult parents growing up or difficult siblings, and there was pain there, and then again, when you start to start your own family, again, it's hard for people to deal with that pain. So your pain, the first thing is your pain is going to block you from investing deep. If you have a business partner who stiffed you, right? I mean, has anyone here ever had a business partner that stiffed them? I've been there. A lot as an entrepreneur, it happens. Business partners have stiffed me, and it's hard. So it's like, well, now do I want to do that again? That pain stops me from wanting to block, from wanting to invest in that deeper connection with people. And by the way, hey Richard, hey Daniel, I'm glad to have you guys here. So we're talking about what blocks your deep connection with people. I mean, have you ever had that where you felt that you couldn't create a deeper connection with someone? Have you ever felt like where you had a connection with someone, but then all of a sudden it's gone or it's dissipated? What happens there? What happens there with your deep connection? I mean, why is it not going so well? So the first thing I said that stops people from their deep connection is their own pain, our own experience. We've been shafted personally, professionally, socially, academically, and it stops us from wanting to invest and build that deeper connection. That's the first thing. The second thing that comes up is the whole idea of staying on the surface. We spend far too much time staying on the surface. Now, why does that happen? Well, because being on the surface and talking about people and things and ideas, hey, go Cubs, go Jays, go Raptors, hey, the weather, it's cold, okay, the fall and winter's coming. And I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about those things. They're easy to talk about because they're happening around us. There's phenomena everywhere. But when you stay on the surface the whole time, it's blocking you from getting down deep. What about talking about politics, religion, family, health, problems, depression, mental health, all the things that we really want to talk about, or we can't get into? I've actually seen people literally have conversations for an hour talking about surface stuff. And it pains me to watch because, like, man, like I'll engage in surface conversations. I have, like, when I do networking stuff, but after like 10, 15 minutes, like, man, I want to get to something deeper, like seriously, or I'm going to exit the conversation. So even here, like, I want to, if people ask me really deep probing questions, like really awesome questions, if you comment below, I will answer. Right now, I'm here. I will answer it. Okay, that's why I'm doing the daily Facebook Live at 12 noon. And the idea here is, again, at a certain point, I'm going to start my own Facebook group called The Power Connection, teaching people, whether it's your personal friends or your professional life, to network, connect better at every type of relationship there is. So that's really why I'm doing this. So people block their deep connection by staying on the surface. They do it because it's easy, it's comfortable. There's less commitment, there's less vulnerability, there's less pain, less emotions. But for the most part, it's really, really important to get past the surface and really, really dive deep. The third thing, and again, I'm going to talk about five things today. 5 things. The third thing that blocks us from our deep connection is really about not taking risks. So if you want to build a deep connection, you got to take risks. Now, sometimes it's hard. So, like, the biggest risk, of course, for most people is like asking someone on a date, like the relationship thing. I want to take the friendship to the date level. That's you got to put it out there. It's hard to do that. It's very hard to do that. But if you can do that, that's the risk you take to build a deeper connection. But, I'll say with someone, hey, you know what? I really appreciate our connection. I'd like to invest in our friendship. Or I'll say, listen, I'd like to explore a deeper topic. And, the rare occasion it blows up my face and someone's uncomfortable, like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. But for the most part, that's like 1 out of 10,000 times, right? Most of the time, it can be the most profound conversation of your life, which is amazing. You ever had that happen? Like, some of you share below some of the best conversation of your life? Did it happen because you took a risk? Often it does. Now, sometimes it naturally goes that way, but often you take a risk. There's a risk of asking the question. There's a risk also of accepting that question and diving deep. If someone asks you, hey, what do you think? So our perception of that pain makes us afraid of experiencing it again. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, people are afraid of it. So how do you see we can get over it? Well, how that's a great question, Musa. So how do we get over that pain? Well, there's a few ways. I mean, the first thing is to take whatever pain you had and make sure you're aware of it. Awareness is first. Number 2, taking steps to resolve that pain. So you have to process the emotions, process the pain, talk to someone, counselor, close friends, whatever it might be, that's going to help you get over it. And then number 3, be aware of it and monitor your progress and revisit that to make sure you are completely over it. Because whether you have pain from a divorce or pain from a death or pain from a health problem, pain from someone burning you, you have to process it in the right way and process the emotions. And that's a great way to get over it. Now, I was talking about the third thing about what blocks our connections. That's not taking risks. So you have to take a risk once in a while to ask that deep probing question. You have to take the risk to accept someone's deep probing question. That's an important aspect of creating deep connection. Or just going with the moment. Sometimes a deep connection happens and I'm running out of time, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to invest 3-4 hours and just do this. So I've had like 4-hour conversation with somebody because I'm willing to take the risk and just do that. So the risk, it's amazing that when you take those risks, some of the most incredible moments and memories of your life are going to come from that taking risk. So don't avoid those risks. So the first 3 I came up with, the first 3 things that block our deep connection. Number 1 is it's our own pain that blocks us. Number 2, it's staying on the surface level of every conversation. Number 3, it's not taking risks. The fourth one is really, really listening to people and listening to their voice, listening to their intonation, listening to their body language. I was in a conversation one time, I did a presentation, and someone came up to me, and I hadn't met her before. I saw her, but I hadn't met her, and she was dressed very nicely, very sophisticated, very snazzy looking, Sometimes, I get intimidated by people who are dressed really, really nice because I don't dress as great. And then she said, I really appreciated your talk, and it was really awesome, and particularly that one part. And she mentioned a few things, but then she says, and then she kind of slightly paused and said, and I sometimes struggle with that, and right now I'm feeling a little bit lost. And the first thing I said, because she paused, and because she hesitated, and because she used the word struggle, I said, well, you know what, why don't you tell me? I'm here for you. Why don't you tell me what you're struggling with? And then there's this pause. And she's looking at me, and her eyes started blinking a lot. And next thing you know, she burst out crying. And I grabbed her, and I held her for like 10 seconds. I said, it's okay. You know what? We're all here we're here to support you. And then she shared her powerful story about, what she was going through with being a single mom in a difficult relationship and being in transition. And oh my gosh. And And since that time, we had this amazing conversation. So that worked. I mean, really listening to her and really wanting to help her definitely helped create a deep connection. I met her a couple of times. We've become good friends. And every time I see her, we have great conversations. So that also can help build a deep connection and not block you from that deep connection. So now we've done 4 things. The 5th thing, the last thing I want to talk about. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Ask me questions for next time, for tomorrow. What topics you want me to talk about? Because I'm here to help you. I love doing this kind of stuff, and it's very easy for me to do a Facebook Live and answer any questions and give you access to me. The 5th aspect of what blocks a deep connection is maintaining the connection. So if you create a deep connection with someone, often time or distance or even a series of 3 or 4 casual, not deep conversations can start to lose that deep connection. So you have to maintain that connection. You also have to maintain the relationship and the connection with your wife or your husband, your spouse, or with your parents or your children. You have to invest in that and maintain that connection. So you actually have to say, listen, let's dive deep. Let's talk about things that are really important to us. Let's put this on the table and talk about it. Or let's set some time to have some, let's have some father-daughter time. Let's have some sibling time. Let's have some boyfriend-girlfriend time. Let's have some best friend time. I'm blessed to have very many close heart friends in my network, which I'm really grateful for. But one time, one of them, I met up with her, and for the first 20 minutes, it was just so surface, and I was like, you know what? Stop. Let's talk deep. Let's do our normal deep conversation. I love that. Can we just stop from the surface stuff? And she was like, yeah, you know what? There's something I really want to share with you. And I said, fine. And I'll share something with that I really want to share with you. And then that conversation was amazing. So you have to actually maintain and build that deep connection. Often we don't take the time to maintain and monitor the deep connections that we have with people. And I know you can't do it with everybody, but you know that there's people in your network that are really good at doing that. So that's the main thing. So the 5 things that I shared in terms of what blocks deep connections: number 1, our own pain; number 2, staying on the surface level of conversation; number 3, not taking risks; number 4, really listening to people both with your eyes and with your ears; and then number 5, maintaining and building the deep connection and relationship that you have with somebody. So I hope you found that helpful. I'll be here every day around 12 o'clock to share my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on questions or comments. Please comment below or let me know any questions or topics you want me to cover to deal with the power of connection or anything to do with relationships, networking, parenting, politics, health, you name it. I want to talk about everything, but I also want to help people out. All right? Have a fantastic day. Have a great lunch. Take care.